Darren Voss with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much to Darren.
Wonderful chap. All of them.
I found out recently that Dave Filoni is a big Doctor Who fan, which is why he cast Tennant in Clone Wars and Tom Baker in Rebels, which is nice. That's fun. Dave Filoni, because I'm sure he's referenced Doctor Who in interviews before, but I love that. Wasn't Rob Zombie is like a big Doctor Who fan as well, which is why he cast Sylvester McCoy in the Munsters film, which me and my wife have watched. I think it's because we used a VPN because we're terrible people. But yeah, we watched that, and Sylvester McCoy is really fun in that as well. But if I had a position of authority where I could cast somebody in a project, I would go for one of the old Doctors as well. Absolutely, I'd absolutely do that. I don't know who I'd cast, but I'd figure something out. I'd be like, Colin, can we get Colin Baker on board for this? Can we get shirtless Colin on board for some Doctor Who hijinks in this other project? Let's work that out. I just want to compose with Peter Jackson casting Sylvester in The Hobbit too. Yeah, absolutely. And we all know that. We all know that Peter Jackson's a big Doctor Who fan as well. Nathan Smith didn't realise Tom Baker was in Rebels. I really do need to give that show another try. I've not watched Rebels, so I couldn't tell you who they are. Star Wars Rebels. Okay, so if you go into the Wikipedia, Tom Baker does have a page here. He plays Bendu. That sounds like Bender from Futurama's cousin. No, he's a bull dude. Oh my goodness. Do not show this to the furry community, because they would have a riot. I think they'd be entitled to, because he's the definition of a top. But oh my giddy aunt. Star Wars Rebels Bendu. Can we get like a 5-second clip of Bendu?
Ah, you heard my call. Good. You're imbalanced.
Yeah, okay. If you're going to get a character that is this big, this imposing, this grand, then yeah, you want somebody like Tom Baker to deliver that voice. 100%.
The light and the dark.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's a really cool voice. I remember watching that Wonder Park film a few years ago when I was still doing regular film reviews on my Trubby Reviews channel. In the UK version, Tom Baker voices the bear. Tom Baker, Wonderland. But he's voiced by a different character in international versions. Like there's a bunch of there's 2 raccoon characters in that film as well, and they're voiced by YouTubers, but outside of England, they're voiced by just different comedians.
Meet the Wonder Park team. Boomer, the ride tester.
I'm more of a 2 feet on the ground.
Yeah, that is not Tom Baker. This is the American version, clearly. Anyway, right, we're going down this rabbit hole, but yeah, that would be really cool to try and cast Tom Baker in basically anything. Oh, by the way, did you folks see that Tom Baker's house was up for sale a couple of weeks ago on Rightmove? 1 second. I remember this being an actual thing, and Doctor Who Twitter was really interested in talking about it. 1 second. Here we go. Okay, so the property has been removed by the agent, but this is Tom Baker's house, Broad Oak, and he's recently sold it. Offers in excess of £1.5 million. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, freehold detached house in the countryside, and it has outdoor barns, stables, animal shelters, and there's behind the scenes pictures of Tom Baker recording Genetics of the Daleks for Big Finish, which is the Time Lord Victoria set, and he doesn't have a studio or anything. He just recorded at his table, and there was a nice cloth sheet over the table and everything. So he just recorded in his what looks like just to be his dining room. Which must have great acoustics if he's able to record professional Big Finish productions. But look at this place. This is where Tom Baker lived. He's now, in his mid to late 80s, so maybe he's leaving to a much more manageable place. I mean, dude's old. So, yeah, massive property. Big place. But yeah, this is somewhere that Tom Baker used to live. There's even a video. I'll mute this in case it's probably royalty free, but yeah. I mean, when you have a property that's value is in excess of £1.5 million, you'd hope that the estate agency actually does put some effort into the video or into the pictures of it. I've seen flats and houses on Rightmove where they don't even have any pictures at all. It is just the equivalent of, dude, trust us, bro. By the way, Tom's maybe going to a small cottage or a bungalow. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, this is a nice place. I think there was even a picture. I don't know where I'd find it, but you could see Tom Baker's Blu-ray collection, and one of his Doctor Who collection sets, I think it was season 12, was actually seen in the background of one of the pictures. I've driven past Broad Oak. You were driving past Tom Baker. He does love his cats, Tom Baker. Anyone who loves cats are fine in my book. Well, this, I imagine a property like this would be a cat's like dream, would be like a cat's paradise. Because I can imagine a cat jumping from this table up here, then up here and walking back and forth. Oh, I actually see a TARDIS thing. There's a TARDIS collectible up there. But yeah, I've definitely seen a picture here where the season 12 collection Blu-ray box set was in the background. So it's cool that he's picking up his own merchandise, propping up the numbers. Maybe he's one of the scalpers on eBay. He buys his own set and then sells it without even signing it. He just anonymously sends it. MTV Cribs Tom Baker. Yes, this has just become a thing. Can you film a video at the house? They've definitely filmed documentaries here. I'm certain that they filmed a portion, at least, of the season. Was it season 14 where they did that big documentary for Elizabeth Sladen, and there's that clip of like Tom Baker on the brink of tears reminiscing about the last time he spoke to Elizabeth Sladen. I'm confident they filmed that at his house. I mean, when you have a place that is this remote, you don't have to worry about much noise, I imagine, and you're kind of spoilt for choice when it comes to nice backdrops. They definitely did the Liz one there. Yeah, I thought so too. When Tom cried, I cried. That clip was heart-wrenching. Although there is actually a picture of Tom Baker that has been circulating in recent days, because they've recently released a vinyl set of something. I'm not entirely sure. Where is it? Tom Baker. Here we go. Yeah, there was some sort of vinyl set of recent Doctor Who release. I don't know what this is, but yeah, he had some signed sets. And yeah, so Tom Baker, he's still engaged with the community. He's still signing stuff. I don't think he's quite active at conventions or anything. But like I said, the dude's in his mid to late 80s. We still do technically have an infectious virus going around that still does afflict and affect the elderly particularly badly. So yeah. It's Tom Baker. There was even it was funny seeing Twitter as well today. There was a load of clips of Tom Baker from Hound of the Baskervilles. I won't play too much of this, but this was a BBC One Hound of the Baskervilles Sherlock Holmes adaptation for BBC One that was produced by Barry Letts, and it stars Tom Baker as Sherlock Holmes and Terence Rigby as Dr. Watson. I won't play like a full clip or anything, but
I'll call on you there this afternoon.
Well, if you think it best.
I need to watch this, because I can imagine Tom Baker being a really good Sherlock Holmes. I mean, he definitely rivals Benedict Cumberbatch when it comes to presence and deeper voices.
Quickly, Watson, hats and coats. What? Come on, man, there's not a moment to lose.
I like how it is just Doctor Who energy. He's just speaking to Harry Sullivan here. Come on, we haven't got a moment to lose. Come on, we must stop the Sontarans. John Watson is an imbecile.
He was tracked to the Northumberland Hotel as soon as he arrived. We are dealing with a very clever man, but he is...
Tom Mason, Chris Chapman needs a BAFTA, and Tom Baker does look ill. He doesn't look... He just looks old. He's just... How old is Tom Baker? How old is Tom Baker? He's 88. I mean, he was born before... he was born the year after Adolf Hitler came into power in Germany. He's been around. He's an old dude. Yeah, I wouldn't say he looks ill, he just looks old. And to be fair as well, he has lost a lot of weight in the last, 20 years as well. He was a big guy in his 70s. He was overweight. No disrespect, he just was a big guy, and he's just lost a lot of weight over the past decade or so. I wouldn't say he looks ill, he just looks old. That's going to happen to all of us. And he's, like I said, he's 88. He's had very good innings. Tom Mason, I think we need a YouTube channel called The Great Clips of Tom Baker. BBC would strike it. My channel is The Great Clips of Tom Baker. This is now a segment. This is now The Great Clips of Tom Baker.
To subscribe to the official Doctor Who YouTube channel. Well,
How could I possibly forget that?
Yeah, this was recorded maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Like, he's got a fuller face. He has lost weight recently, but, you know, he's probably maybe a bit healthier for it. If we're talking about Tom Baker guest appearances, then let's talk about Blackadder. Who was he in Blackadder? Tom Baker, Blackadder. Was it the first season? I'm really playing with fire here, folks. I'm watching BBC clips on this live stream. Blackadder 2. I didn't know this was Tom Baker, and I've watched all of the Blackadders except for the first one because I got bored after 2 episodes.
First, mate, and return as fast as my well, neither of yours.
I need to hop around, otherwise I will get claimed.
Oh, you have a woman's mouth.
There we go. Blackadder trans confirmed. Right. We get a petition for Chris to get a BAFTA. Chris Chapman. He's won his documentary on Finding Peter, the writer of the Censor Rights, hosted by Toby Haydock. I think that actually did get an award. Not a BAFTA, but I think that did get an award. Give him time. He's still a relatively young dude. I'm sure he'll get... Doctor Who documentaries aren't really going to get BAFTAs, but maybe something else later. This shows how much news we have. Yeah, we have so little news that we have to go and stalk Tom Baker's career in the 80s and the 90s. Tom also played Zebad from Magic Roundabout. He did, yeah, he played Zebedee. Oh no, he played someone. 1 second. Tom Baker, Magic Roundabout. This is now just a appreciation segment for Tom Baker. Oh yeah, of course, because Zebedee and Zebad, they were okay, they were one and the same. They were the evil clone of Zebedee. I forgot this was a thing, but this was huge in the UK. I remember this being a pretty big deal. Like really big voice cast. I think like Kylie Minogue was in it or did a song. Ian McKellen was in this as well. This was one hell of a cast. But yeah, Tom Baker as Zebedee, Kylie Minogue, Robbie Williams, bloody hell, Jim Broadbent, Lee Evans, Joanna Lumley, Bill Nighy, Ray Winston. This is one hell of a cast. Kevin Smith was in the American version. Wow. That's kind of mad. Yeah, I remember this being a big deal. That movie does not hold up. Oh no, of course it doesn't. I'm certain it doesn't. See, this is what no trailer does to us. This is what no trailer does. Gil Gurns, I swear he voiced some bear in a theme park thing in 2018. Yeah, he voiced him in the UK version. 1 second, I'm certain that 1 second, Trilby reviews Wonder Park. I'm certain in my own review of the film, I played a clip with Tom Baker. It was at the end.
You guys did block.
Yeah, that's Tom Baker screaming because he's the bear.
No!
Yeah, that's Tom Baker as a big blue bear for the Wonder Park film. It is not a good film, but I did review it.